Moving abroad without someone, I did it. It was tough. I was barely an adult, and I went to live to London and to New York as well for a brief period of time. My advice is now, you have video calls and you have technology to make you feel more comfortable and have your support network with you. And also try to be mindful about it and start building social relationships and finding friends from day one. It is important to have people on your side in that transition. But you can do it. And it was probably the toughest and the best thing I've done for my life. Moving out of, the little town of Lugano into the big city of London. And I am extremely happy I did that. So go for it. Believe it or not, I was and I still am sometimes a fearful flyer. But I realized early on, maybe as a teenager, that if I didn't fly, I would not, achieve my dreams. So I had to. And I think it was a control issue for me. So what I did is mentally really focus on the fact that the pilots are much more trained, infinitely more trained than me at preventing problems. So no matter what, they will know better. So it's putting the trust mentally before flying into the pilot's hands. And on the other side is also thinking that when there's turbulence, you have to imagine the plane flying in a jelly. So it's not actual air because, with the thrust, the air becomes thicker. So you need to imagine the plane in like a jelly. So it's moving, but it's the jelly moving. It's not. On the branding side of my business, I do many things. One of them is digital promotion. So I have channels, I have my Instagram, I have all of the other social media platforms on which I promote luxury brands, fashion brands, also longevity. It could be anything, lifestyle, hotels, travel, financial services, it depends. On the other side, I also have my own company that does branding consulting for mid-size enterprises. It's very funny because I saw Mike Tyson say this recently, and I've always thought so. And it might be a little controversial, but this is my opinion, and it doesn't have to be other people's opinion, but I think legacy is overrated. In 3 generations' time, you're going to probably be forgotten, even by your grandkids. So why does it really matter? Just be happy, do good while you're here, do good for the people around you and for the world, and that's it. Why do you want to be remembered? Who cares? That's so egotic. I don't care personally. That's personal. I don't. All right, so rarely I take on board new people for consulting. And most of the time it is business consulting, and sometimes it's life coaching. So check it out. It's the last tier of my Patreon. Believe it or not, my hair got burnt at New York Fashion Week when I was walking because they literally put something in it and burnt it. Horrible. I walked in a fashion show and they burned my hair. So it took me a long time to get it back because it was knotting. It's still knotting a little bit. And I'm using a lot of things. So I have a sensitive scalp, so I use Vichy Derma something. It's for sensitive scalps. But then on the length, I use the Laminar Water by Garnier. I think it's called Banana Drink. I also use a deep conditioning mask by Kerastase. I use coconut oil once every 10 days and leave it overnight. I use all sorts of things. I also use the Wow hair spray before drying my hair, and I use a very low setting on my Dyson, so a lot. London is not cheap. London is expensive, but is it worth it? 100%. The energy bills and the rent and the cost of living, everything has been going up. It's not a walk in the park. But there's a lot of free activities you could do, like walking in the park or going to museums or even certain other free cultural things you can do, and the people are awesome. The energy in the city is awesome. So is it worth it? 1,000,000%.